This is potentially the largest trap that you can fall into if you're looking to exit west. And I know this personally because I've fallen into it so many times. So this is a cautionary tale. Hi guys, my name is Kurt Provost and welcome to Exit West, the show where we explore the crisis the West is going through right now and look for opportunities and options outside of the West. Back when I was at university, I was working night shifts at a casino, and one of my colleagues was a gorgeous Brazilian woman, and I had a major crush on her. And as she would share a bit more about Brazil, because I got very curious about this land where this gorgeous creature came from, and she would share a lot of the downsides of the country, but some of the good things as well. And I didn't seem to hear any of the downsides. I only focused on the positives, on the amazing aspects of Brazil, and I built Brazil up in my mind into a massive fantasy, and I put Brazil on a pedestal. That is the trap right there. As we are looking for places because we can see what is going on in the West and we are not happy with the direction that this is heading in, and you want to have another option or you want to decouple yourself from that runaway train, it is an easy trap to fall into, to obsess over the countries that we find and elevate them up onto pedestals that they don't necessarily deserve. Yes, there are countries that are better, subjectively speaking, than the West, and it depends greatly for you and what is most important for you. So I don't believe there are any perfect countries out there, but I do believe there can be places that are perfectly suited for you. I heard a guy say once that all countries suck, just find the ones that suck a little less. And I thought that's a realistic way of looking at it, because every place has its downsides. And you have to be just as conscious of those downsides as of the upsides. Because the upsides are what are drawing us there, but the downsides are what are going to cost us the most when we make the move. So it's key to be aware of those. So inevitably, I ended up in Brazil because that's what happens when you have a dream and you're focusing on something. And I found a way to stay there long term. So I started studying Portuguese at a university there and got a student visa. And that's a great way of staying long term in many countries. And I started to create a new life there, or tried to. And after a month of just really not enjoying that place, I just wanted to get out and I was resisting it. And I was just looking for the next place, the next place. I realized that, you know what? Brazil hasn't done anything wrong necessarily. Brazil is just Brazil. But my mind has built it into something that didn't exist. And now that I'm in Brazil, I am blind to all the wonderful things that are there because I'm just obsessing and focusing on all the difficulties, all the hardship that I was having with learning the language, with finding a place to live, with the culture of how people would interact, with the inefficiencies, with the buses running late or not even showing up at all, with commuting taking hours, with the city being way more expensive than I expected. All of these things became my focus and my obsession, and of course I was having a miserable time. So something had to change, and I decided to embrace the adventure and to embrace the opportunity to learn new skills and to develop and grow in a different way in a different country. And after that mindset change, you know what? Things changed. I started to make friends. I started to understand the language better. And I started to really enjoy and appreciate everything that that beautiful country has to offer. And it's not like Brazil changed, it's just I changed, my perspective changed. And I think that is really, really important. If I can impart that for you guys as you go out and find the place outside of the West that you would like to call home, or just have the option of in the future calling home, keep in mind that there are negatives to that place, and try and figure out a way to neutralize some of them before you even go there. Learning the language is, I think, the first step. That is something that will really help a lot, because yes, English is spoken all around the world to varying degrees. It's going to limit the amount of interaction that you can have, the depth of your connections and relationships within a country based on your ability to speak the language. So it makes sense to start learning the language as soon as possible because it takes time. So start today. That's something you don't have to be in the country for. It definitely helps, of course. There's another thing that's really important and will help you a lot, and that's your finances. If you can set it up right now, and this is something that's in your control today, to have an independent income stream that's coming in, or a large enough amount of savings that creates some interest that you can live off comfortably, or rental returns, something like this, where you are comfortable that you can actually use money to smooth out some of those negatives. Because in many places in the world, money will solve quite a few problems. And that was a big issue that I had when I moved to Brazil. I was absolutely broke. I had no money. So everything was stressful. Everything was way more stressful than it needed to be. And I was living purely off saving. And the third, and probably the most important thing, is the mindset, because that can dramatically transform your experience wherever you are in the world. You need to have a mindset of, I will make the most from wherever I am, from whatever situation I'm put into. I will make the most from that adventure, from this opportunity to learn and grow and develop a new skill that will help me in ways that I cannot even imagine today, but ultimately will be incredibly worthwhile. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that helps you to avoid that trap that I have fallen into countless times now, and hopefully I will fall into less in the future. So there are no perfect places, but I do believe that there could be somewhere that is perfectly suited for you. Let's find it together.